the perfect husband who erased his family. The Chris Watts case. On August 13th, 2018, a father stood in his driveway, pleading for the safe return of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters. He looked calm, measured, controlled. He said he just wanted them home. But what the cameras didn't know was that the man asking for help had already made sure they would never come back. This is the case of Chris Watts. And this is how an ordinary suburban father became one of America's most disturbing family killers. Chris Watts lived in Frederick, Colorado. He worked in the oil industry, quiet, soft-spoken, reserved. His wife, Shanann Watts, was outgoing, active on social media. She frequently posted videos of their life. To the outside world, they were thriving. 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste. A 3rd child on the way. Family trips, birthday celebrations, smiling photos. But beneath the image, there were cracks. Financial strain had followed them for years. Bankruptcy filings, credit card debt, tension. Still, nothing publicly suggested violence. Until the summer of 2018. In June 2018, Chris began an affair with a co-worker. His behavior changed almost immediately. He became emotionally distant, withdrawn, unreachable. Shanann sensed it. Text messages later revealed she felt him pulling away. She asked him directly if he still loved her. He gave neutral answers, avoided eye contact, avoided commitment. For Chris, the affair represented freedom, a fresh start, a life without financial pressure, without responsibility. But there was one problem. He already had a family. At 1:48 a.m., Shanann returned home from a business trip. Security footage captured her entering the house. That would be the last time anyone saw her alive. According to Chris's later confession, an argument took place in their bedroom. He claimed it began as an emotional confrontation. It ended with him strangling her. Their 2 daughters were inside the house. The next phase of his plan began immediately. He wrapped Shanann's body, loaded it into his truck. Then he placed his daughters inside the vehicle as well. He drove them to an oil field site owned by his employer, a location he had access to, a location he believed would hide everything. At the remote site, he dug a shallow grave. He buried Shanann. Then he killed his daughters. He placed their bodies inside oil storage tanks. Then he went to work, as if nothing had happened. That morning, co-workers described him as normal, routine, calm. By late morning, Shanann's friend grew concerned. She hadn't responded to calls, hadn't answered messages. Police were contacted. Officers arrived at the Watts home. And this is when bodycam footage captured something subtle. Chris was cooperative, but emotionally flat. He swayed, placed his hands on his head, repeated phrases. When shown neighbor surveillance footage of him backing his truck into the driveway at 5 a.m., his demeanor shifted. His breathing changed. He stopped speaking as confidently. Investigators began noticing inconsistencies. Just one day later, Chris gave a television interview. He looked directly into the camera. He asked his wife and daughters to come home. He said he had no idea where they were. He appeared almost rehearsed. For many viewers, something felt off, too composed, too controlled. Not the reaction of a desperate father. Within days, investigators brought Chris in for questioning. He agreed to a polygraph test. He failed. The examiner told him clearly, "You did not pass." Pressure mounted. He changed his story. At first, he claimed Shanann killed the children, and he reacted in rage. But the evidence didn't align. Eventually, he confessed. He admitted to killing them all. Why would a man erase his entire family? Investigators pointed to financial distress, an extramarital affair, the desire to start over, without the consequences of divorce. Psychologists later described him as emotionally detached, conflict avoidant, someone who preferred elimination over confrontation. Instead of walking away, he removed the obstacles. In November 2018, Chris Watts pleaded guilty to multiple counts of murder. He was sentenced to life in prison, without the possibility of parole. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars. The case shocked the nation, not because of visible warning signs, but because there were almost none, no prior violence, no criminal history. Just a quiet man with a collapsing internal world, and a decision that destroyed everything. The most unsettling detail of this case is not just what he did. It's how normal he looked, how controlled he appeared, how easily he performed innocence. If you had watched his television interview that week, would you have believed him? Or would you have sensed something wasn't right?
This is the Case Vault TV, and sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who look completely ordinary.